Hey everybody, Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Project Zomboid, King of Louisville, episode 55, Ramparts. What I'm going to do is have you guys vote immediately for what I'm going to do next. But also, I wanted to preface that next week is going to be the last of Louis, if it gets voted on, of course. If it doesn't get voted on, then it doesn't get a conclusion. Rip. But it will be the last of Louis, and I do have plans for that. But for this stream, I'm happy to just sort of work on anything that you think is a quality of life benefit for Louis, and then I'll put the plans into motion next week if this gets voted on. Not really sure about putting a motorcycle helmet in the wash, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Look how dirty I am. It's gross. I'm pretty sure the wash myself didn't just work. There we go. Madsy, thank you for the resub, and Crimson Rust, thanks for gifting out a sub. Alright, let's get horribly hypothermic here. Before I go to sleep, I just wanted to check on the crops. Carrots are ready for harvest, but not seeding. Alright, let's look at all of them. I can get back warm in a minute. Want to go back inside. Maybe even firing up the wood stove for the first time. I don't know if I've been paying enough attention to know if I had diseases here. I've been clicking on them out of habit, but have I been reading them? What is... Okay, so the seedling broccoli needs to get watered. Wasn't a disease, though. And we we do have some devil's water fungus for the last broccoli, so I'm digging that up. So 2 broccoli to fix. Got it. I have so many packets of broccoli. Holy moly. It looks like you guys want me to secure the perimeter some more, which is an interesting goal. It's it sounds easy, it's rather difficult, but I'm up to the task. I think what I will do is just do my best to have it as secure as possible with, like, relatively minimal effort. But it's likely to be a multi-day effort anyway. Alright, so I think plants are all squared away. Let me hide that. And tomorrow I'm going to be working on securing the perimeter. But then also taking... suggestions from you guys in just a second here. Caught the first of my streams on your birthday? Well, happy birthday. March 23rd. Well, I am finished, waiting for the clothing to finish drying. I guess I can cook for tomorrow? I'm actually starting to get hungry, so might as well. I'll start some sort of pot of stew or something. I don't know. We'll see. Create a bean stew. Adding white beans, random beans, tomato paste, oil, dried white beans, random vegetable, and random vegetable with crackers and some stock. Ah, sounds not that bad. Okay, apparently the stew is so big and heavy that it doesn't fit in on the oven anymore. Okay. So I put my cooking pots of water in under the sink. A totally reasonable place to put them, I think. Was that a 9 kilo stew? Yeah, it's a big stew. I'm surprised that it is not 9 kilos of food somehow does not feed him more than 55. I don't understand that, but that's okay. So the current priority is now secure perimeter and suggest goals. I'm going to open up the viewer submitted ideas suggestion box for you all in just a second. And as far as securing the perimeter goes, probably... Ooh. Yeah, I'll probably need to just do a lot of wood cutting and carpentry. I think that's likely the fastest way to go about it. Very, very labor intensive, but it's fine. I think an extra perimeter around the base would be a mighty nice thing to have. How's my weight? I haven't checked on that in a while. 79 and stable. Good. Good healthy weight. All right, let's get to sleep. It's already past midnight. It's kind of, well, I don't know. I guess cooking in real life takes a long time too. Sometimes. Depends on the meal. But my clothing will be dry in the morning. That stew put a lot of weight on my bones. What? I gained a whole kilo? I mean, yeah, I see hunger minus 17. Whatever. Gaining weight is a good thing, I guess. Just surprising that a fourth of the stew did that. I don't know. The food mechanics in Zomboid is always very strange to me. Oh, look at me, fresh in the threads. Nice. So, if we have a huge construction project to do, I am going to want the wood axe again. I don't think I'm going to break it on this trip. And I'll take some ropes. Divisible by 2. 12. Let's go for 16 ropes. Not bad. Alright, I am all set to go. Machete is in terrible condition. I'll repair it again. It did not repair very much. But that's fine. Where I'm headed, it shouldn't have too many enemies. Should be relatively safe. Because I'm just going up the coast where there are trees to cut the trees down. So what I'd like to do is create a perimeter around the base that just keeps zombies further away from the immediate vicinity, putting like walls around choke points and patching up windows and the like. This section of the base is going to be really tough to contend with because it's so open. So I might just wall myself up to the east and south, instead of try to go for the whole thing, unless you guys continue to vote on perimeter security. This is where I was trying to trap birds. And we have something that caught... Yep, there it is, dead bird. Unfortunately, I didn't bring bait to replace it. But we had... So we got one fish, one bird. Off to a very modest start. But a good start. Probably ought to park a little closer, I'd imagine. Back it in. There's not so much running. So that I don't accidentally eat the raw bird, because that sounds like something I would do, I'll put it in the trunk. It's nice to be in a city that has access to trees. I can imagine if I was like more downtown, any sort of large-scale construction project would be much more daunting. Just because sourcing the material would be difficult. We're almost into well, not almost into December, but we're like almost halfway in through November. And given my survival time, around the 4-month mark is when your panic typically starts to really decrease. And I think I've started to see that, where Louis is just not getting panicked like he used to. He's getting very used to zombies, which is very nice. That's why there's diminishing returns on desensitized if you take veteran, because eventually it becomes somewhat obsolete. Alright, this is the last set. As you can see by my burning lungs in the top right. Oh no, don't do that. Don't have a lot left in me to continue. Funny how abrupt the changes of like crickets to city you can hear when I leave the biome area. For all of this work, I think Louis is going to deserve a bird dinner. Oh, where'd the logs go, though? They must be on the ground, right? Yep. Sawing out in the open like this is dangerous, because I have no protection from zombies, but the game's usually pretty good about not allowing you to F6 fast forward to your death. It will, like, slow time down when zombies approach. So. Alright, let's get this bird frozen. I didn't even bring it with me, did I? Nope. Well, it's not going to spoil immediately, at least. Can I show how much progress I've made in strength? Sure. I have leveled up basically nothing in either. Yep. Unless you spend your entire day, like, working out in Zomboid, they're not skills you're going to level up in a reasonable amount of time. You would need mods to make any sort of dent. Or just to do, like, push-ups every day for months. I mean, it's why I say it's a ridiculous skill to attempt to build up. Because it is ridiculous. The bar is just so absurdly high. That's fine. For some players, it's achievable if they want to play forever and ever and ever. For me, I don't. My series don't go on that long. It's like a new 10-year challenge. Live for 10 years to get your strength leveled up once. Count me out. Does a metal gate exist? Yes. I don't have the skill to make it, though. But, yeah, you can make chain link fence gates, and metal doors and the like. Here, I could show you the metalworking. So here is the double-wired fence gates. But it requires metalworking 7, which is way outside of my ability to consider as a viable option for perimeter defense. Going from level 4 to level 7 would take me order of magnitude, probably like 5 hours of just straight grinding. So some of the other things I'm going to need is hinges and doorknobs for the gate, the second gate out there. Luckily, I have exactly the amount I require. Lucky me. It's also probably more expensive to maintain. Yeah. Well, especially given that I have really high carpentry skill, my wood constructions are going to be better than my, like, tougher because of the higher level. Because you gain HP for things for each level. So there's a lot more benefit. The only benefit to the chain links, which is why I would prefer chain links, is you can see past them, so you can see zombies on the other side, because this sort of perimeter security comes at a cost where my visibility is 0. One thing I could do is, and maybe I'll do it here as an example. No, maybe I'll hold off on that. One of the things you can do is you can make metal bars on windows so that they're impassable but visible. But the reason I'm holding off on that is I'm not really sure if I have the skill level to do that too. So I want to make sure that I do before I commit to designing that way. But there is some southwest security. It's going to be a little bit more annoying driving home, because I have to get through yet another barrier. But it's another barrier that zombies have to get through, trying to traverse to me. The other thing I need to make sure is that any door or window on this southwest wall is plugged. Because if the walls here are open, that doesn't provide me any additional benefit over not existing. Wow. Whatever this this lentil and bean soup is putting on an insane amount of weight on my bones. I've gained 2 kilos so far, and I'm sure it's going to go up a lot higher. So what do we got here? We have got... You know what? I might, yeah, I'm definitely not going to be able to make it. Just looking at the recipes I do have. None of them really relevant to window security. Here, let me open this. Although, I don't know if it's even possible to put it in when it has a window frame. So I might need to find one without a window frame. Isn't wood planking of windows more beneficial? Because helicopters can't see through them? Yeah, but there are no helicopters, so I don't need to worry about that. Helicopters come once, and they've already come, like, 3-4 months ago, so they're not coming back. I might actually be thinking about a metal bars mod. I thought you could, though. Double check metalworking here. Or it could be a magazine I haven't read. Let me check my magazines. Nope, definitely not a magazine. Because I got all 4 red. Okay, well, I'll just make them walls. That'll be the last thing I do, because I've hit my exertion cap for the day. Cutting down 8 trees is a lot of work for this non-Paul Bunyan. One of the other benefits of having, like, a closed-off yard like this is if there is a breach, it's likely to be a breach of just, like, a choke point, which lends itself to be able to be secured with weapons like shotguns. Because then you have a whole bunch of zombies coming in and funneling through, and that would be fairly easy to defend against. It wouldn't be a terrible idea to get another generator out here to light up this this concrete area, and then to put floodlights on the other side of the fence. However, that would look more defended as well. And I'm going to continue working this for a bit longer until I've hit like a reasonable milestone. So let's cook up that bird. And Mahai Goku, thank you for the resub. Cheers. I don't know how I want to cook it. Just like this. Feathers and all, I'm sure that smells delicious. The metal barricade requires no skill, but I need metal bars in the first place. Okay. I could take a look at that. I definitely have metal bars downstairs. I just didn't see it in the menu prompt. Okay, so now it's ready to be actually cooked. And let's do a bird stew. With, I don't know, we'll find something to put in it. Oil. Lentils. Split pea. Chickpea, black bean, Tomato paste. Pepper. And salt. Celebrating my first successful bird trap. My first and only. 8 pounds of stew. Zinlin, thank you for the bits. Cheers on your lunch break. The reason I had to cook it early is it was in the process of being frozen, so I couldn't butcher it because it was partially frozen, so I had to de-thaw it in the oven first, and then I could butcher it. I was never really intending to, like, not butcher it. It just was frozen. I wonder if this will level me up. I don't need too much more experience to level up to cooking 6. Louis here is becoming pretty capable. At cooking level 7, I believe at 7 you get the ability to use rotted things as a partial ingredient into a larger recipe. Which means that if I found, like, rotted meat... I mean, I think it's beneath Louis as a king to eat partially meals made of rotted things, but I'm just saying it's possible. It's a significant milestone, if you will. Because it allows you to start using all that spoiled stuff that you find everywhere. So stew is 20 hunger. Louis, are you going to become fat again? I think he's going to become fat again. That is my prediction. And on, like, beans and lentils. Reminds me of a phenomenon you'll see in Asia, which is rice belly, which is kind of like a beer belly. Well, it's exactly like a beer belly, but just rice, where it's, like, very protruding, but only in your gut. Just because of the way the empty calories get stored, I guess. I might want to freeze the other partial bowls of stew and save them for when I, like, lose some weight, because I'm already well on my way to becoming chunk. And I've been there and don't want to do that again. So it's going to be cabbage time. Let's actually grab 3 metal bars and see about the window bars. Not that it would necessarily go and, like, change the current setup, but it'd be nice to visibly see. Hey, Scab Mechanic, how are you doing? What have you been up to? Let me try to give you a shout out if my game would cooperate, or my recording. There we go. What have you been up to? Fill me in. I am very, very, very busy and very bad at catching up with other creators' content. Mostly lurking. What have you been streaming? Anything fun? Any new games on your radar that you're like, whoa, this is way better than I thought? Because for me, it's been the opposite. I've had a lot of games that I thought were going to be fun that are, whoa, this is way worse than I thought. And, well, that's sad. It might be because of the types of windows that I've been trying to install this in. Let me go out to the adjacent busted up windows out here. The last game that disappointed you was Prison Architect. Prison Architect is like fun for a bit. Yeah, there we go. Barricade metal bars. I don't know why that window up there like wouldn't allow me to do metal bars, but I'll barricade the metal bars here because I wouldn't mind being able to like see through for incoming zombies. It's probably the curtains, yeah. Curtains are blocking the barricade. I don't know. Don't really care. It worked. And it worked where I wanted it to work. But yeah, Prison Architect is like... it's a fun game, but there's like not a lot of content. And there's a lot of DLCs, and it doesn't fundamentally change very much about the game. So when you've played like 10 hours, you've played all of it. And I've played most of the DLCs at this point, but all the like at this point, I think they're just out of ideas. If I'm going to be honest, because the DLCs are just like islands or reformatories, or you know, it's I don't know. It's fine. They're trying to make a buck. I get it. It's just not for me. I'm going to put a wall in here. And then I'll put a wall over here, too. I just don't care for them to be gates. Hey, snoozer. There was a fence there already? Yeah, but there was also a broken open door. And I don't want zombies coming in through that broken open door, and I wasn't about to fix that. I'd rather just wall it. This parking lot is pretty trash, too. At some point, I'm going to want to pick it up and make it look nice if I'm actually trying to add this to the base. Perhaps also moving the refrigerators to the other side of the fence to act as like a second barricade. Wouldn't be a horrible idea to have sort of 2 hit points, as it were. Alright, this area is secure. I don't think that there's any doors or windows on this wall here. I would see them. There might actually be on the second story, but, you know, that's fine. I'll be surprised if they fall in. If you step up the quality of the walls each tier, you get a lot more bang for your buck. You also have to realize that these walls are likely never to be touched, and I have finite time and finite patience for projects. So to keep the projects within scope, I don't waste 5 times more time for a project that is not necessary. I guess my larger point is there might be a right way to do things in Project Zomboid, but for instance, let's take skill grinding, right? Like, you can skill grind a lot of different skills in Zomboid. That doesn't necessarily mean that you should do that on stream, in my opinion, because it's also unbelievably boring and time-consuming and unentertaining. So, yeah, it's possible to get to, like, level 10 metalwork, for instance, to make really amazing metal walls. But is it reasonable? Unless you start off as, like, a metalworker and you have like XP boosts and everything. I mean, no, it's not reasonable. So you'll see a lot of shortcuts that I take because I don't care about the consequences of taking said shortcuts. It's not taking the shortcuts is a lot worse in my opinion. Hello, corpses. I'm not going to worry about the corpses just yet. Corpses will decay, whereas this trash never does. So I suppose what I could do is I could just wall off from the Duquesne apartments to the corner of the base, and this will be the secure area. Stream quality over build quality. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And there's plenty of content creators that will do the effortful 100-hour builds, but I don't think you're here for that. And if you are, you'll be disappointed, because that's not something I'm going to be doing. Too much work. Too slow progress. I do find it impressive, though. Especially when it's, you know, in the extreme. Taking it to the logical extreme would be something like, you know, oh, me and my friends, we built this, like, Minecraft city, and it took us 6 years. It's like, wow, I mean, there might be better things to do in your time in 6 years, but still impressive. Who am I to judge how people use their free time, though? You know, I actually might want to gate in this spot. Yeah, I'll gate in this spot. I'm just going to need new hinges. Unfortunately, I don't get full yield returns. Put the planks down. And get ourselves some hinges. That's half of what I need. Those types of builds are a lot easier when it's not a live stream. Yeah, exactly. I'm happy to consider doing those kind of builds when it's for YouTube content and not live, and I can edit out the 20-hour snooze fest, condense it to 10 minutes, and call it a day. This is the biker bar, is it not? I think. Yeah, this was the like meth den. I call it that because it had, like, a whole chemistry lab upstairs. But it was a bar downstairs. I think we all know what that means. So this might take me 1 or 2 more days just to get it to a reasonable milestone. So if you have suggestions of what you want me to do, let's say November 16th, that'd be my guess as to when I finish up, drop it into the suggestion box. Fine. I can't apparently rotate this to wall up the other one. Come on. There we go. Is cement beginning to crack? No. That's just how it always is. You just might be only noticing it now. What does happen over time is you'll have vines and things growing that you can remove from the buildings. But the buildings don't physically change. It's just overgrowth of wall vines and the like. Alright. 2 cardinal directions, all walled up, all barricaded. And a rather large lot. Pretty open. Pretty open. I'm going to need to cut down. So tomorrow's going to be another cut tree day. And I think I'm going to retire the wood axe. Oh no, it should be good for another day. It should be fine. Whammy, you liked Remote Castaway? Well, thank you. Oh, I'm out of nails, huh? Probably a whole lot of nails in here. I'll just open all 4 boxes of nails that were within reach. That'll work. Before I head to sleep, let's check on the generator. Also looks like most of the potatoes are... Well, 3 out of 4 potatoes are ready to go. The other thing is Oh, and the tomatoes. So I probably don't have... Ooh, even the carrots. I don't have a freezer space for all that, so I'm going to need to set up the other freezer. I didn't mean to do that. Fuel is down. Got it. This generator is 93, 94. All right. The other generator I just turned on and swapped to is 100, 100. No problem there. If you want to make a suggestion, use the viewer suggestions, which is your channel point redemption. And I'll add it to the list once I'm done barricading. Well, before I do this, I had wanted to put fencing behind the ices. I just don't have wood. Do I have wooden boxes downstairs, maybe? Let me double check. Did I start an hour earlier? No, I did not. So if you're ever wondering, I keep the events on Discord to the minute, and then I also keep my website to the minute. So if you use the countdown timers on my website or Discord's events, the start times will always be accurate. I'm going to burn a little midnight oil so that I can get that freezer set up. Oh, don't fall, dude. So I'm going to find some stuff to dismantle for wood just to set up the fencing that I wanted. Yeah, this Sunday, I think, most of Europe enters daylight savings. They lag 2 weeks behind the US. So the madness will end soon, in other words. I think I hit most of the crates in this building just because they were convenient. But there's some wood furniture over here. Plus there's trees if I really get desperate. Come on. So how many fences did I need? 4 maybe, I think. So I'm going to want 2 more planks. Also, I'm pretty sure I hear zombies. Over to my southwest. I'm not going to look for trouble as I'm tired and encumbered. Hey, Blue. Thanks for the 5th month resub. Cheers to 5 more. Thanks for joining the community. Always happy when people return. It's the measure of my own, you know, it's hard to know how well I'm doing, because there's not a lot of easy ways to get feedback for, as a streamer, but resubbing is one such way. So I know I'm going to probably make more gates. So stockpiling and hinges and doorknobs are just going to be helpful in the long run. Louis is going to have a really late start tomorrow, isn't he? Because it's already 1 in the morning. So what I'm doing now is I'm switching which freezers are being used, so that I can get rid of the other icy and put fences behind it. Mostly just for aesthetics. The icy itself is a physical blocker, so it's not like I could fall off the base walking through it. But it definitely looks nicer if it's done. I think what I'll do is I'll just do the farming in the morning, or whenever I wake up. It's probably not going to be the morning, given that it's almost 4 in the morning already. But that's plan for tomorrow, is harvest all the seed-bearing stuff and then continue the wall. Hey, Saragut. Thank you for the sub. Ah, 1 p.m. What a lovely waking hour. It also looked nicer if I stored my dry food on supermarket shelves. Well, suggested as a goal. Use channel points. And then we can vote on it. That's how things get done around here. I'm gonna break my back over vegetables here in a second. Just farmer things. So, almost 5 kilos of tomatoes, almost 5 kilos of potatoes, and 6 kilos of carrots. That's right, Stardew. I am the farmer now. God, farming is so easy. It'd be one thing if it required, like, compost and fertilizer and all that. So you'd have to forage for, like, rotted foods. But nope. It's just, insert seeds, get out near infinite food. And if you're patient, infinite food, as long as you wait for seed-bearing phase. That's my farming skill, too. It's closing in on level 8. Nice. What was this? This is carrots, I think? Yep. $42 will be more involved. Yeah, that's been the trajectory of all their updates is, you know, more involved, gas, more involved, liquids, more involved, you know, adding levels of complexity that are reasonable. And I'm all for that, as long as it's intuitive. That would be the caveat. If it's not intuitive and if it makes it harder for new players, it's not a good update. Game's hard enough as it is already. Thank you for tuning in to Project Zomboid, King of Louisville, which originally streamed live on Twitch, March 23rd. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my gaming community, Rhadamant.com also has a link to Discord, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow zombie slayers.